Young girls in Africa are trapped in poverty. The education they need to escape is beyond their reach. How can this desperate cycle be broken? I'm Alvin Hall. 25 years on Wall Street have taught me a lot about business. But now I'm on a new journey around the world, meeting a new breed of entrepreneur, more interested in doing good than making money. Social entrepreneurs. And I want to help. I'm flying over Zambia in southern Africa, continuing my exploration of the world of the social entrepreneur.
I'm on my way to Mpika to meet the founder of an organization named Camfed. Its purpose, to provide educational opportunities for young girls born in poverty.
I know what that's like. I was brought up in a poor family in the deep south of the United States. Education was my escape. It's a subject that's very close to my heart. In sub-Saharan Africa, 24 million girls can't afford to go to school. It is particularly bad here in Mpika. It is one of the poorest areas in Zambia, which itself is one of the poorest countries in Africa. It's the start of the day at Musa Kenya Basic School in Mpika. Education is paid for by the government, but only up to grade 7 or about 13 years old. After that, parents must pay for all school fees, uniforms, and books themselves. It's not surprising that this is when children are most likely to drop out of school. Girls are most at risk. Right now, school attendance here is down a further 20% at a crucial time, exam season. The reason? It's also harvest time. Here are the missing girls, 20 kilometers outside of Mpika at this makeshift camp. People come from miles around to collect one of Zambia's national delicacies. There are a lot of school-age girls here. Camfed's country director and former permanent secretary of the Ministry of Education, Barbara Chalangwa, shows me what the fuss is all about. Caterpillars.
Well,
Let's see it. Oh my God, it's huge.
It is huge.
It's huge. No, you can put it in.
You just try to fit some.
Oh my God. And these young ladies harvest these. And how many of these buckets do they fill over the course of a day? 4. And how much do they make for each bucket?
About $4.
About $4.
Yes, $4.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
It's easy to see why these girls would choose to do this instead of school. It's good money, and it's money they desperately need.
All these don't have parents.
They don't have parents?
No.
It's amazing, isn't it? So they're really out here on their own.
They're on their own.
How many of you are taking off time from school to be here? Everybody?
Yeah.
And you do this every year? Yes. Shouldn't you be in school learning?
Well, they want to make money, which they will then use to pay fees.
For school.
And buy school items like books.
It's clear these girls really want an education, but they're having to skip school to try to stay in school. Okay, you gonna show me how to do this? There's a real irony in this. Why do more girls than boys drop out of education? That's the question that Ann Cotton, founder of the Campaign for Female Education, wanted to answer when she came to Africa in 1991.
What I found was that the primary constraint was poverty. And the fact was, the reality was that boys had a much better chance of paid work in future. So this was the family security.
Ann started a discussion with the village chief she was visiting about why girls' education was equally important.
The chief called a meeting and people came from miles around. I mean, the passion and the desire for education really showed. And we sat in a community like this under a tree, and all day we discussed how the program could work. And that's how the basic model of Camfed was fashioned in the community, by my listening and learning.
In 1993, Anne started raising funds by baking and selling cakes. With the $3,000 she raised, she sponsored her first 32 girls. That number has grown to more than 500,000 children in 5 African countries. Camfed's annual income was $11 million in 2008. But as it has grown, Camfed's approach to empower local communities hasn't changed. It has just over 100 paid staff, but a network of more than 50,000 volunteers.
Well, this is a community development committee meeting from Mpika, and all the constituencies of the community have come together to discuss the progress of the Camfed program.
Oh, really?
Well, they're absolutely central to the Camfed model. They're really the decision-making body at the local level.
Camfed believes it gets a dramatic social and financial return on its investment.
When you educate a girl, everything does change. And you find that maternal mortality falls, that child mortality falls, you find HIV rates dropping. Everything improves with girls' education.
The town of Mpika is a tough place to grow up. It's a major junction on the Great North Road that runs from Cairo to Cape Town. Most people just want to pass through. The railway used to bring jobs, but now trains are few and far between. Times are hard, and for an uneducated girl, there are very few opportunities. Some sell what they can on the side of the road. Others sell themselves to truckers. 1 in 6 people in Zambia is HIV positive, and this is one of the worst affected places in the country. Education is vital. Educated girls are 3 times less likely to become HIV positive. But the pressure on poor girls to leave school and work to support their families is immense. Christine is a Camfed girl. She's 15 years old, the eldest of 4 children. Her father died 3 years ago. Each morning, she gets up at daybreak to help her mother with the chores before starting her long walk to school. It hasn't been easy for her, and she's struggling to keep up with her schoolwork.
I have problems in school because I do not have time to study. Most of the time, my mother is away, so I have to do the housework. When the time comes for tests, I can't answer the questions because I do not know a lot about the subject.
To put food on the table, Christine's mother and grandmother are often away from home working the family's small plot of land. It's 18 kilometers from home, a full day's walk, so they're often away for a week or 2 at a time, leaving Christine to look after her younger brothers and sisters.
It's very hard to get by. If my mother doesn't sell anything at the market or gets something from the farm, then we have no food.
For poor families, long-term goals often give way to short-term needs. They need to survive to be able to feed themselves a day at a time. This is a cycle of poverty that's hard to break.
It hurts me to think of the way we live. It makes me think that if I could finish my education, I could find work and it would improve things for my family.
The reality is, if Christine can't stay in school, one day it will be her eldest child looking after her family while she's away helping her mother on the farm. The cycle would just continue. When people in Zambia find out that I'm the oldest son in my family, they always ask me the same question. Well, aren't you supporting your brothers and sisters? So, hearing that Christine is the oldest child in her family, there's a lot of pressure on her in the community, in the culture, to support her family. But what about getting a good education? Isn't that supporting the family too? That's a very big conflict going on within her. You don't have to go far to see what difference an education can make. One of Mpika's first Camfed graduates lives here in a house she built from scratch. It's one of the best houses in the area. Hello,
Hi.
Gift.
Welcome.
Oh, thank you. It's so nice to meet you. Gift Namachimba is 26. I've heard so much about you. And look what you've done. So this house is beautiful. It's really beautiful. And it's all yours.
It's
I know, it's so good. So show me the rest of the house. It is so wonderful.
Let's go.
Gift excelled in school. With a small grant from Camfed, she set up a stall selling shoes in the local market. She quickly doubled her money and has gone from strength to strength. Today, Gift employs a friend to run the stall full time.
I have 3 main bedrooms.
3 main bedrooms. So how many people live here with you?
Yeah, we are 4.
4. What, 2 brothers and your sister?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing. So you provide shelter for the whole family?
I do. I provide shelter, food, groceries, everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
And you must be so proud of yourself.
I am.
Gift had a clear idea of what she wanted and how she would get there. It helped her look beyond her family's short-term needs to break their cycle of poverty. But I'm concerned that some girls, like Christine, don't seem to have that vision. I wanted to tell them my story and how I set long-term goals that changed my life. I did not have any money. I have 7 brothers and sisters, and we worked the farm every day. But my mother taught us about the difference between, say the words, short-term and long-term. And my mother said, you must always have long-term dreams. These are things that you need to work toward in the future to make yourself very, very happy in life. If they believe a different future is possible, they might be more likely to stay in school. But I do worry about Christine. In class, she seems uninterested. Camfed can't support everyone. They select only the poorest girls without considering how motivated they are. I wonder if this approach risks wasting money on girls who are more likely to drop out. Dreams come true. It's time to talk to Anne. I met this young lady named Christine, and I was struck by her seemingly lack of interest in the program, or something was distracting her. From a purely business point of view, someone might say, shouldn't you select someone who is already motivated, who there seems to be a predictable payoff in the future?
Christine really hasn't had the chance yet to grow through the problems that she faces at home, and she has been selected like all the other girls on the program on the basis of need. And I have every confidence that she will grow and change over the years.
In looking over your books and all the information about Camfed, there are 2 things I want to say to you. You run a tight ship. There's no waste in how you use your money. You don't have a lot of staff, you use a lot of volunteers, all of that is great. But when I was teaching a class with this group of young women, I was a little bit concerned that they were very much focused on short-term goals. So my challenge to you is to broaden their point of view, to enable them to dream further in the future and perhaps even bigger.
I think it's crucially important for change, because unless people do aspire, unless people do imagine beyond their circumstances and see a way through and a way forward, then we won't have the social change that Camfed seeks. So it's a great challenge and we accept it. Thank you.
I'm looking forward to my return in 6 months' time to see how Camfed has responded to my challenge to further inspire their children here at Basic School, especially Christine. I'm Alvin Hall. I'm on a journey around the world, bringing my financial and business expertise to social entrepreneurs. Here in Zambia, I've been looking at the work of Camfed, the Campaign for Female Education. It's 6 months later and I'm back in Mpika, and my first stop is Christine, the young girl who is struggling to stay in school. I want to see how she's doing now. Christine is supported through school by Camfed, but when I last saw her, she was torn between her education and the need to look after her family while her mother is away farming. The first thing I notice is a shiny new bike. I notice you have a new bicycle over there. When did you get that and how?
The bicycle was given to my mother by Camfed. Now she's able to ride to the farm, which is 18 kilometers away. Before the bicycle, she had to walk, and so she'd be away a lot. But now she goes and comes back on the same day, so I'm really thankful.
Camfed doesn't often provide bicycles, but the local committees do look at each individual girl's case and decide how best they can help. For Christine, the bicycle, combined with extra tuition and support, seems to be working. I'll see how she's getting on in class later. First, I want to catch up with Camfed's founder, Ann Cotton. Yes, when I last saw you, I gave you a challenge, and that challenge was to expand the imagination of those young girls that I taught in class.
What it did was really reinforce the importance that they grow in their understanding of the wider world and that therefore can raise their aspirations. And so we have been producing a book and that has role models from communities like this who really made it. Every school in Zambia will in fact receive this book along with pupils' notes and teachers' notes.
So you're really showing them possibilities and showing them other role models.
Yes, of course there are many girls who were once here in this school who've gone on to high school and now some have gone on to university. They are, gradually going into professions. So of course when they come back, they are so inspiring. They can say, you know where I come from. I come from your village, and look what I'm doing. And that's what makes girls in a school like this believe and really believe.
And there are more and more role models in the making. Those that get the grades often come to schools like this one, the Witakila Boarding School. This is sweet. Are all of these Camfed girls? How many of Camfed girls are here? 60? That's amazing. If they continue to do well, Camfed will sponsor these girls right through secondary education and for some on to university. Boarding schools like this provide the girls with food and accommodation, helping them to step away from the pressures of home so they can concentrate on their education and pursue their ambitions. Bravo!
I want to be an accountant.
I want to be an architect. I want to do mining engineering.
An economist.
I want to be a pharmacist.
I want to be a doctor.
It's great these girls are focusing on their future careers, but they still face tough times ahead. It's hard even for female graduates to find jobs in Zambia. To address this, Camfed set up CAMA, a self-supporting network of ex-Camfed girls like Gift Namachimba. Today, it has 14,000 members across Africa, and Gift is Zambia's national chairperson. CAMA members receive training in business skills and social outreach. They're starting businesses, community support groups, and projects like this one, a preschool in Mpika. Gift mentors the 7 CAMA members who started the school. Camfed's graduates aren't just starting careers, they're improving local economies and giving back to their own communities, helping to break the cycle of poverty for more and more poor children. In fact, across Africa, CAMA has galvanized communities to support the education of more than 118,000 children themselves.
What else?
Now, I understand why Camfed says everything changes when you educate a girl. But what about Christine? Is she doing better in school?
Last term, I used to get 20 points in English. Now, I'm getting 41 points in English and 51 points in history.
You've changed so much. You seem much happier than before. Why?
I've noticed I've improved in everything. I used to lag behind, but now I'm at the top of the class.
Very good. Clap for Christine.
It's great to see that Christine is participating more, raising her hands. The last time I saw her, she was very sad, introspective, and seems a bit removed from the class. But today, things are different. It seems as if she's really on track to accomplish the goals that Camfed sets for all its girls.
Next time, I'm in Tanzania, following the money I lent to two businesswomen. Tell her she's a supermodel. To find out if you can borrow your way out of poverty.